Well, welcome. Today what we're going to do is we're going to explore a little bit more on our TI-Nspire on how to graph and look at tables. And to start with that, we have this beautiful screen with all these options. So far what we've done is you'll notice that we've been working with just kind of equations. But what we're going to do today is we're going to work with graphs. And that's this guy right here. You can even see it has a little X and Y axis and all that. So why don't we go ahead and we'll click on this. So right now we get this beautiful thing. It has the X and Y axis. You can see over here 10 and a 6.67. We'll talk more about that with Windows. That's actually a rather large conversation, but we'll begin that this year. So if you look down here, you're going to see f(1) of x. So if you remember from yesterday, that's our function notation, f of x, right? So f(1) of x means that's our first function. We can put all kinds of functions, f of 20 if you want, f(20) of x. So anyway, let's go ahead and start with a pretty basic equation. So let's go 2, and I want to do 2x plus 3. But my x is really down, it's down here low at the bottom. And that's my variable. So 2x plus 3. And now I'm going to just go ahead and hit enter. And I get this beautiful line. And I'm going to have you guys play around with all this stuff more later. But you can change the color of the line, you can move the line, you can do all sorts of stuff. So what we're going to do now though is we have a line, we can see graphically what 2x plus 3 means. As I take my cursor up here, you can see I can grab it. If I have a circle, I can kind of rotate maybe my line a little bit. Oops, sorry about that. Hold on 1 second. If I get somewhere stuck, I can always hit escape. I'm hitting my wrong cursor button. So see there, we can press that and I can rotate it. And you'll see up top the equation changes. So let's try to get it back to 1x plus it's really hard to kind of move it exactly. So I'm going to leave it right there. You'll see the equation right up here, 1.96x plus 3. Pretty close to 2x plus 3, right? Okay, so my big thing I want to show you today is I want to figure out how to get a table on here and how to kind of play around with our graphs and do all that. So what I'm going to do is you'll see the menu button down here. The menu button, of course, gives us lots of options, menus. So why don't we go ahead and hit that and see what we can play with. Alright, so under actions, you're going to see I have all this stuff. I can add texts and I can calculate and I can do all sorts of stuff. I can go to view and I can go to 3D graphing. Avoid that for right now. We're not going to learn that for quite some time. We can hide the axes. We can do different stuff. Under graph, I have functions, equations, window zoom. This is going to become pretty important later on. Right now, we're going to hold off. Trace can become important. Analyze graph can definitely be used pretty soon this year. Probably more next semester, but we'll get to it. What I want to focus on right now, though, is you guys will see table. So I want to look at the graph and the table. So we are going to hit table, and we want to go to a split screen table. So see that? That's pretty nice. So 1.96 times x plus 3 is our function, our output, and x is our input. So when x is 0, we have an output of 3. When x is 1, we have an output of 4.96. And go on, and you'll see we have a cursor bar over here, so I can go up. What if I want to know about my negative numbers? So I go up, and maybe we go up to -5. Well, at -5, my output would be -6.8. So this is a nice little table. So if I don't want my table anymore, I need to make sure I'm clicked inside of my table, because I can click over here on my graph or my table. I want to be on my table. I'm going to hit menu again. And we're going to go to table, and I want to remove table. Boom. So now I have my beautiful screen again. Alright, so that's kind of how we do a graph, and that's also how we do a table. That's all I have for right now, so why don't we go ahead and play with that for a little bit. Feel free to play around with any of the buttons on menu though. Alright, have a great day. Thank you. Bye.